summer too, but it is truly the summer of soccer right now with all of the action going on right now. Welcome on in, folks, to West Palm FC. It is your football podcast here in West Palm Beach, South Florida. We talk everything Inter Miami and everything world football. Now, I wanted, obviously we got a lot of stuff to touch on today. The Gold Cup, the FIFA Club World Cup, Inter Miami. But I got to start with some really somber news. And, Diogo Jota, the fantastic striker for Liverpool. Obviously, I'm a Manchester United fan. Damien's a Liverpool fan. Elias is our household Arsenal fan. But one thing we could all agree on today is what happened, and the tragedy that happened to Diogo Jota today is something that we carry heavy hearts with. And I wanted to start with Dame because Dame is our Liverpool man. And, I woke up this morning, I was completely sick to my stomach seeing the news. Now, the details are gruesome. They're gross. I don't think we need to go into all of that. But Diogo Jota leaving us way too early. And, Dame, your initial reaction to seeing that this morning when you woke up?
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, it's devastating from whichever angle you look at it. From a family perspective, something that you just don't want to wake up to. And Diogo Jota, who was absolutely loved by Anfield, absolutely loved by every Liverpool fan, has won Premier League with Liverpool. So it's just, like I said, it's just devastating from whichever angle you look at it, from a family's angle, from a just person to person, just horrible news.
Now, Elias, waking up seeing that news, what were your initial thoughts?
Man, it's shock, maybe.
Right.
That was the thing, like, shock. My brother texted me, like, super early, like 6 a.m. He's like, Jota died. I'm like, what Jota? Because we have, like, 2 Jotas.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what Jota? What do you mean? And then I saw the news, and it was like, what's going on? Like,
I know.
It's crazy. And it's crazy because we don't even...
Surreal's the word.
The thing
Right.
is, like, we don't even know the guy. He doesn't even know or knew us. And because we saw him every day, like, playing Champions League, playing Premier League, and you
Right.
feel like this connection, like, I know this guy for my whole
Yeah.
life, but you don't know him. And it's just crazy, man.
Yeah, and for me, it's like, I sports hated him. Being a United fan, he killed us every time that he would face the Red Devils. But, like, this is bigger than sports. You guys are telling me he just got married too. He's got 3 kids. I mean, just completely devastating news that we woke up to this morning. Our hearts are out with his family, his wife, his kids, and Anfield, Liverpool, and the whole community there. I saw some great scenes of them. Fans of all types, Everton jerseys, United jerseys, Liverpool jerseys, Arsenal jerseys.
The former Wolves.
All going over to Anfield, laying down flowers for Diogo Jota. So Jota,
That 20 will never be worn again.
right?
No,
number
shouldn't
20.
be. Shouldn't
Yeah.
be.
No. So Jota leaving this world and leaving us way too soon, and our hearts are out for him and his family. Now, boys, getting on, to more, I guess, better news. The FIFA Club World Cup, in my opinion at least, I think has been a tremendous success. You've heard a lot of, I guess, teams. It's hysterical to me because teams like Chelsea are complaining. Chelsea has netted $70 million, arguably paid for João Pedro and that contract that they just signed. You've seen, Maresca, their gaffer, complaining about the pitch, complaining about it being too hot. Jude Bellingham complaining about the pitch over at Hard Rock, how it's too hard on the knees and this and that. The matter is, they're making a ton of money in this tournament, and I find it kind of hysterical that this is the angle they're taking. Now, no one likes world football doesn't like the United States. I understand that. We're behind the 8 ball as it is with people and football and all of that. But I feel like this is a total cop-out. Like, especially the teams that have lost at the FIFA Club World Cup, blaming the pitches, blaming this. You don't see the Brazilian teams doing that.
No.
You don't see any, I was about to say Concacaf teams, but like North American teams, South American teams, you don't see them saying this stuff about the pitch. It's just the European squads. It's the European giants.
Yeah, and in the tournament where they thought they were coming in, a lot of them thought they were going to be untouchable, and then they ran into stiff competition, teams from South America, teams. I mean, even the MLS teams, not all of them, but Inter Miami, we beat a European team. So, like you said, I think it's a cop-out. It's a bit of an excuse, and it's a shame, honestly.
I think it's an excuse, man. It's an excuse. And the thing is, like, you can tell me, it's the weather, it's the field, it's the pitch. I get it. I understand that. But it's the same conditions for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
The same pitch for both teams, same weather for both teams, same training facilities for both teams. Like, they're not elite training facilities. That's what I mean. So it's just an excuse because they were not expecting South America to whoop their asses.
Yep.
That's what we're not expecting.
I would have agreed with them if the fields were synthetic.
Yeah.
But, they even complied in a sense where they changed it from synthetic plastic to natural grass and turf just to accommodate more of the European team. So it's an absolute excuse.
Agreed, and I think teams like Palmeiras, Botafogo, and the Fluminense, these teams, even the Saudi Arabian teams, Al Hilal. How about Al Hilal beating Manchester City?
I mean, with the team they have?
First off, let me say this, an absolute disgrace. Granted, it's coming from a United fan, so take it with a grain of salt. Pep Guardiola and that team has no business losing to Al Hilal. Someone who I love, boys, is Simon Jordan on Talk Sport. Listen to him every day. He said, with that team, with how much money is involved in constructing that team. And guys, they went out and got reindeers. They went out and got a bunch of these players before the FIFA Club World Cup, and they still lost. Pep and that team had no business losing to Al Hilal in that game. I think it's a disgrace, and I think Al Hilal deserves all the credit.
The only team that I think kind of, in a sense, saves Manchester City is the team on the other side of that bracket, Inter Milan. I think if it wasn't for Inter Milan, we can sit here and say Manchester City was probably the most disappointing team this tournament, but I think Inter Milan kind of saved them from that title.
And like you look at the other fixtures too that have happened. Like, boys, I know every European person or team or whoever, they're complaining about this tournament. But at the end of the day, we got a hell of a knockout round right now. I mean, the 8 teams that are left, it's PSG versus Bayern, Real Madrid versus Dort, Palmeiras versus Chelsea, Fluminense versus Al Hilal. Now, my initial reaction to seeing how the final 8 have shaken out, Chelsea has no business not making the final game. And I know we just got done saying, Palmeiras, good squad, Fluminense, these teams are good.
Yeah.
But in the end of the day, with how much money Chelsea spends, if I'm going to sit here and say the roster that Manchester City had was good enough to at least get to the semifinal, I got to do the same for Chelsea, who spends more money than anybody.
And
100%.
to add on to that, to keep knocking onto Manchester City, I mean, what an opportunity they missed. They probably could have been looking at, not to knock Fluminense, I think they're a great team, but if you're looking at a game against Fluminense or PSG, you can say there's an advantage of the team that's playing Fluminense or even that side of the bracket.
Yep.
You're avoiding Real Madrid as well.
Yep, and the thing is, like City, you said about all the players they bought. We're talking about $350 million in players since the beginning of the year, since 2025, since January. Remember, Marmoush, Vitor Reis, like all these players. Then you buy Nico Gonzalez. Now you buy Tino Reindeers, Ad-Nouri, Cherokee, which I think is one of the best young players in the world. $350 million. Also asking, where are the 115 charges?
And you're getting Rodri back.
Yeah, and you know what? Even though it's a disgrace for them to be eliminated on this cup, I'm gonna hate watch, so I'm happy they got eliminated.
Yeah, I mean, one thing
same with Chelsea. Hate watch on Chelsea.
Correct. One thing all of us can agree, all three of us, we were very happy to see Manchester City lose.
Absolutely.
And I'm going to be, as you said, hate watching Palmeiras and Chelsea, hoping that Palmeiras can figure it out.
I'm a huge Palmeiras fan for that game.
Yeah,
correct.
100%.
Not just because it's Chelsea. I just feel like that's a team that deserves
usually,
it.
like when I'm. We all have friends. We all have friends that root for football teams and whatever. Like, my cousin is a huge Chelsea fan, and usually I'm on the side of, all right, if I can't stand one club, the team that I guess I hate the least is Chelsea. Out of Arsenal, City, Liverpool, I'm starting to completely go the other way on that. They are geniuses with how they maneuver the money. Financial fair play does not exist for them. PSR does not exist for them. I don't know how they do it.
No.
They sign every good young player. They get everybody they want in their short list. And then their coach has the gall to complain about the FIFA Club World Cup where they just netted $70 million and paid for the João Pedro deal that they did last week.
I was going to say they just picked up João Pedro.
I can't take that. I can't take that serious. They live in a Chelsea, their fans and their group. And listen, fair play to them. This is me completely envying them because my team can't pay their bills. And on the other hand, Chelsea has more money than God. So I'm starting to kind of hate Chelsea, calling it for what it is. Usually they were the team where I go, all right, I don't really hate Chelsea that much. No, I can't stand them now. Can't stand them now. And granted, United has been so, I guess, irrelevant. And I know we've won 2 trophies in 3 years, and I like to remind people that. But in the grand scheme of things, in the Premier League and Champions League, they've been irrelevant. So I guess that's where the hate comes from. But, boys, I cannot wait for the knockout round coming up. It is the final 8. Once again, Fluminense and Al Hilal, Palmeiras and Chelsea, Dort and Real Madrid, PSG, and obviously Bayern Munich. Quickly, City, and if they would have faced Fluminense, that was the final 3 years ago.
Something like that.
That was the final 3 years ago. So
Yeah.
that would have been the rematch of the FIFA Club World Cup. So a couple of news-ish notes, things there with the FIFA Club World Cup. Now, I did want to touch on Inter Miami and this competition. Now, boys, I want to get your opinions as well. I'm going to start us off. I think it was a tremendous success for Inter Miami to make the knockout round. Now, 4-0 sucks against PSG. Let's call it for what it is.
Against the best team in the world.
Agreed. And Damien, we did Pink Smoke, our my football show, every Wednesday from 6 to 7 on ESPN 106.3. He said the same exact thing. PSG's the hottest team in the world. They're Europe's champion. I understand all that, but boys, 4-0 sucks. I mean, there's no ifs, ands, or buts. Here's the good news. Inter netted $21 million. Now we got to see how much kicks back to the MLS. Regardless, how much it can't be more than $5 million.
And it's more than what was expected.
Right. But that's going to help possibly go out and get players that are going to help towards an MLS Cup. Making it to the knockout round is a tremendous success in itself as an MLS team. And Inter Miami became, I believe one of you said it earlier, they became, I think Damien, they became the first MLS team ever to beat a UEFA team at a club competition level. So I think all signs point to Inter Miami having a great showing at the FIFA Club World Cup. They just ran into a juggernaut against PSG.
100%. And I don't agree with people saying on Twitter because we can't go around following and believing that a few Twitter people or ex-people, whoever, or however you want to call it, I think it's a success. And I think the team needs to build on from what they did on this Club World Cup towards the MLS. I don't care about the Leagues Cup. We care about cups, perfect. But I don't really care about the Leagues Cup. I think they need to concentrate on the MLS, take this experience, take this money, bring some players, make the team better. And I'm telling you right now, I don't care if you qualify first, second, third, or fourth. I care about what we do in the playoffs because last year we qualified first, we got knocked out on the first round. This year I don't want to qualify first. Then I don't care. I just want to play a good playoff round and go to the final. I think it's just build on the momentum and saying like, hey, we learn a lot. It's positive. Let's go, and then let's just beat all these teams.
It's the morale. It's not just what Inter Miami has made from a monetary perspective, but it's from the morale. You know, they showed from a mental perspective, they showed they can compete with anybody. And now we're going back to the MLS competition. We're literally slapped in the middle of the Eastern Conference. So with a lot of games to make up, we got 16. Everybody else has around 20 games. So from a morale's perspective, from a physical perspective, it's important that there were no key injuries. We had a few injuries, but we can work around it. At least Messi's 100% good. You know, Suarez, Jordi Alba, they're ready to go. So from a morale's perspective, I think it's going to help in the long run when we compete in the MLS Cup.
Yeah. Two quick things here before we move on to the Gold Cup. Are you guys buying reports that Messi might want to play higher level competition soccer before the World Cup?
It makes no sense. It makes zero sense. Zero sense. I mean, those 6 months before the World Cup, yes, you want to stay in shape, you want to be competitive, but you don't want to destroy your body at 40 years old. So I think the best place for him, the most comfortable place is Miami. 100%. He's got everything he needs. His family's comfortable. His family's happy. So why would you leave that situation?
100%. And you have like a good understanding with the team and your national team. Your national team already has a base, an office here in Miami. The World Cup is going to be here in the United States. Doesn't make any sense.
Same physical therapist.
Yeah.
Inter Miami's physical therapist is the Argentinian national team's physical therapist.
Doesn't make any sense to leave the team right now.
It makes zero sense. That was just pure smoke.
Now I agree, by the way. I don't think he's going to leave, and I'll take it a step further. I don't think his family wants to leave Miami. I don't think his family wants to go to some, and with all due respect, some godforsaken European city for 6 months.
He's not going to go to Barcelona.
This isn't Messi with the bowl cut haircut at 22 years old at FC Barcelona. This is the Messi that is arguably the greatest player of all time, wife, 3 kids. So that's the reason I don't think he does this. And I think they like living in the States. Listen, I say this all the time. I think the United States is the greatest country in the world, and I think they love living in the U.S. This is something, though, that I think is going to happen, boys, what I'm about to bring up next. I think we are going to see Messi take a step back from playing in all these games. Damien and we tried to kind of track it on Pink Smoke last night. When was the last time Messi didn't play a game? When was the last game Messi missed? Boys, I think Messi is within the next couple games. I can't promise you it's going to be Montreal. But this game against Montreal coming up, that's the next fixture, by the way, 7:30 coming up on Saturday. You can listen to Elias and Damien on the Spanish side at 6:30 on 760 AM Deportes, and you can listen to me at 7 o'clock. Start with the pregame on 106.3. But this game against Montreal screams to me a game Messi misses. It's fresh off of the FIFA Club World Cup. He played in almost every single MLS fixture coming up to this. I would not be shocked to not see Messi in the lineup tomorrow.
I agree with you, but I think it's going to be the other way around. I think he's going to play against Montreal, and then I think he's going to rest a little bit against New England to play the night against Nashville, because the 3 games we have right now, Nashville is the best team of the bunch.
And Cincinnati, which is right after Nashville.
They're top table, right?
Yeah, I think they're
damn near top table in the East.
So I think that's what they're going to do. I think he's going to play against Montreal, at least, depending on the result, I think he's going to play at least like 60. Then against New England, I think he's going to rest and then maybe play a little bit more in the second half. And then against Nashville, I think he's going to go all in the whole game.
Yeah, I think the logic is there. It completely makes sense. I personally think he should rest one of these 2 games. But from a competitive standpoint, I mean, Messi's a competitor. He loves to compete. If Messi says, I want to play, I don't think there's a person in this world who can tell him, listen, you're not playing tonight.
Yeah. And
so it's really going to come down to him.
Yeah.
We mentioned that Eastern Conference at Cincinnati. They're second with 39 points. The Union first with 40. Nashville at 38. The Crew in fourth at 37. Orlando City 33 and fifth, and then our Herons 29. But you boys mentioned only 16 games played, so a lot of points. Lot of points still on the table for Inter Miami.
If wins the 4 games that they haven't played, they could be first place in the table.
Yeah, I'm telling you right now, I think with taking out Cincinnati of the equation, only the 3 games we have right now, Montreal, New England, and Nashville, I think we can take 7 points.
Yeah, easily, especially in the form that Inter Miami's in. I mean, I know we lost our most recent game 4-0 against PSG, but if we scrap that game, I mean, even before the Club World Cup, we beat Montreal 4-2, and we beat Columbus 5-1.
Yep.
So you can argue that Inter Miami is probably in the best form they've been all season now.
And we'll have to wait and see what exactly that lineup is going to look like from Javier Mascherano. Is he going to stick with the 4-4-2? Is he going to go back to a 4-3-3? I think these are all questions we will be able to answer for you guys coming up on our pregame shows. Once again, Damian Elias on the Spanish side, 6:30 on 760 a.m. Deportes. Myself, Ken LaVicka, 7 o'clock on ESPN 1063, handling the English duties. Now, boys, I've been waiting to do this all show for the Gold Cup, for the Gold Cup with USA and Mexico. Mexico winning last night, USA winning last night. That is going to be the final. This was the final back in 2021 in the Gold Cup, the United States versus Mexico. But more importantly, Diego.
Is he the new Captain America?
Diego.
Or does he at least have a claim?
Diego. I mean, what a story. What a guy to get behind, first off. I tried finding him on
He's Mexican, by the way.
I tried finding him on Twitter last night. I think he had like 400 followers or something. He doesn't do social media, is a guy who just loves playing football, nose to the ground, has earned everything he has ever had. I mean, this was a guy who was playing in the Landon Donovan mentioned it on the broadcast. He's playing in like USL 2 like 2-3 years ago. And now, I mean, the second goal was amazing when he made that move and went near post and beat the keeper near. I mean, guys, I love this kid. And I understand he's playing Christian Pulisic's position right now. I love Puligoat. Can't stand that he's not playing. It's a bad look. I don't care what Christian says. It's a bad look.
He's got what Pulisic doesn't, though. In his character.
But this, I wouldn't call him Captain America. Listen, I know I just basically lambasted Puligoat for not playing in this, but I still love him. All right. You could tell Musa to stay home. How about Luna fills in Musa's position, and then you put Puligoat out wide? I'm getting ahead of myself. Boys, I don't think this Gold Cup necessarily, I don't think winning is important. First off, I'd give the edge to Mexico. I'd give with Alvarez and Raul up top. Both I know, but the gaffer there for Mexico has gone to the one striker. He started originally with 2, but the one striker formation has been working for them. You did see the other Jimenez, Sergio. Help me out. Santiago came off the bench in that game last night. Regardless, Mexico's a great team right now. That 16-year-old Morales, too, is playing great. He had the assist last night in the game. I'd probably give the edge to Mexico, but as a huge United States men's national team fan, I'm just happy that obviously Pochettino is not going to be able to see arguably the number ones. Like Tyler Adams and Chris Richards are number ones. Let's not argue that. But I think seeing Diego play well like that. I think he earned himself a spot. I think Freeze maybe earned himself. Stefan stinks. I'm going to say it. I think Matt Turner and Stefan both stink. That's a whole nother conversation. But I think Freeze has at least proved that he could be a third goalkeeper on the roster. I think we have learned some things. I know I'm rambling here, but I think we have learned some things about this United States team in this Gold Cup. It was all doom and gloom, and look at this. We're in a cup final right now with a chance to beat a really good Mexico team right now.
I'm telling you right now, not only Diego Luna, I think that from this team you can get players on the other
Malik
team.
Tillman, yeah, I didn't even mention him.
Luna, I like a lot. Freeman, the right back, I think he's great. Obviously, Richard is going to be on the first team 100%. Freeze, 100%. Maybe Berhalter is knocking on the door too to get in.
Bayern Munich is knocking on Berhalter.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
No one wants to go to Bayern, by the way. That's a whole other conversation.
I don't know if it's a true or it's a rumor. I don't know, but it will be huge. And I'm telling you right now, honestly, I think you said about it doesn't really matter if you guys don't win against Mexico. That's what you said?
Listen, without the ones here, I think it's a miracle they made it.
I think
personally, with how I am operating right now, with this
it's
being...
not a miracle they made it. Come on.
No.
It's a miracle they made it.
You look at
they should have lost. They should have lost in the semifinals.
You don't have a competition in the Concacaf. You don't have competition in CONCACAF.
Guys, it's a miracle they made it with that roster.
They
have Ajiman starting at striker, boys.
Okay. Who did you guys play?
You played Guatemala in the semifinal. No disrespect to Guatemala, but I mean, come on.
That is some massive disrespect to Guatemala.
You played against Trinidad and Tobago. You play against, who was the other team? Haiti. So I'm telling you right now, what's your competition in CONCACAF? You didn't play against Argentina, Uruguay, Brazil, Colombia. You didn't play.
I think
it's a miracle they made it.
No. USA was supposed to make it to the final.
With the form that Pochettino had that team in, it's a miracle that they were able to win 4 games in a row. An absolute miracle.
This team right now is not the A team, B team, C team.
Let me ask you a question, Mike. If USA would have lost to Guatemala, would we be talking about it like a failure?
100%.
Probably, but it's expected.
They should have definitely made the final.
Listen. When Canada lost, a lot of good teams. Panama lost, Canada lost. I mean, are they being held accountable? They had their ones. A lot of the teams that lost, like Canada and company, Panama beat us.
Canada is not USA.
Panama. I know it was because Tim Weah, lost his head, but Panama beat us in the Copa.
Yeah. Well, now, you know what? I don't agree.
Full strength, Panama beat us in Copa.
But I don't agree with you saying like, if we lose, it's okay.
It was expected. That's all I was saying. I expected that team to lose.
You guys need to win against Mexico because Pochettino and all the process he's doing right now with the team is under scrutiny. Why? Because they're not playing well.
See, I think
they need to win.
I agree to a sense. I think there's more pressure on Mexico to win this final. I think Mexico has everybody they can.
They're full strength, guys.
Full strength. They should beat USA, but with that being said, I think USA has got no pressure. They're going into this game for the first time in a while without being the heavy favorite in the CONCACAF. So that should definitely work in their favor. But I definitely think the expectations should have at least been to make the finals. And if they didn't make the finals, it would have been a failure.
Guys, Mexico is full strength. They literally have every single player on the roster. Now, listen, I told you guys before, I can't stand that the United States doesn't have all their players here. We're the only country that does that.
What are the gambling odds for that game?
I don't understand. I guarantee you Mexico, if we go look at our good friends at Hard Rock Bet, I guarantee you Mexico's the favorite. Guaranteed. I guarantee you Mexico is the favorite in that game. They have to be. They have the better roster.
Let's check.
Guys, Tyler Adams is a shell of himself who is always playing injured. Chris Richards is great. Malik Tillman might sneak into that World Cup lineup. Other than that, there's 3 starters in the lineup.
It's very open. USA is plus 195. Mexico's 1 plus 50.
Yeah, that's what I would.
Plus 150. Hang on, plus 150 for Mexico, plus 195 for the U.S. Yeah, Mexico's favored. They should be favored.
But it's like not a big difference. Both of them.
They should be favored.
I think it's a very level game.
I think
no Balogun, no Pulley-Goat, no McKinney, no Weah.
How can you say Pulisic is gonna be your leader when the guy who needs to represent his national team says, "Oh, I'm too tired. I'm gonna go on vacations." No, man.
I have no defense for that. I have no defense for that. I can't stand it. I can't stand it.
I'm telling you right now, that's why Diego Luna next year, he needs to be, and he's going to be one of the starting players in that team.
He's going to fill in for Musa. That's what's going to happen. He's going to play over Musa and Pulley-Goat. You cannot bench Christian Pulisic.
You can't.
You cannot bench Pulisic.
Right now, a guy who is making a career, and great for him. He's having a great career in Europe right now. But a guy
he's AC Milan's best player this year.
But a guy who's only like 26, hasn't achieved nothing at club level, maybe a Champions League here, and then on a national team, a Gold Cup, and all that.
Pulley-Goat, he won a Champions League with Tuchel.
Other than that, A guy who said, I'm too tired, I'm going to take
You have
vacation.
to have personality.
I'm not going to go there. And then you have a documentary done about you when you haven't done nothing. That's a diva. That's a diva.
Imagine if Pulisic had what Diego Luna has, which is that personality, that chip on the shoulder, that sense to always grind. What if Pulisic had those traits? And I'm not saying he doesn't, but I don't think he has it to the extent that Diego Luna has.
He's the best player in Concacaf. He was the best, arguably one of the best players in Serie A this year. Got to start him, guys. I understand. Listen, guys, I am not trying to defend him. And I agree quickly. I agree with you guys. He should be playing. All those kids should have said the FIFA Club World Cup, the McKinneys, the Wayas, they should be playing right now. Yeah. Pulisic shouldn't be on holiday. He should be playing. I understand all that. When he comes back, got to play him. Got to play him.
What's the question mark with the U.S. men's national team? It's not talent. You could say this is the golden generation, quote unquote. The question mark is culture. And what they did does not help that.
No, not at all. And I'm telling you right now, you said, and this is a hot take, you say Pulisic is the best player in the CONCACAF. I disagree with you.
Who?
Jonathan David from Canada.
No,
for me, he's the best
Stop it.
Oh, man.
I'm sick of that hype train. I'm so sick of that hype train. Yeah, I'm sick of that hype train.
He just signed from Juventus.
I'm so sick of that hype train.
I'll side with Pulisic, but I think
Puligoat is the best in CONCACAF. I don't even think it's close.
I think it's close.
Well, you know what's the difference? The best guy in CONCACAF is not playing the Gold Cup, but Jonathan David is.
Yeah, and they got bounced by who? Canada?
Guatemala.
Okay. All right.
And
the B squad for the United States beat them 2-1. And if Ajiman could finish a bag of chips, it'd be 3.
My point is, like, the leader for Canada is playing the tournament, and the leader for USA is on
it's
vacation.
a cold. I think USA could have made the finals walking if they had their starters. That's not the question.
They could sleepwalk into it. But here's the listen, guys, I have no defense on why they're not playing.
There's no personality.
No defense at all.
Yes.
Boys,
I agree with.
Quickly, before we wrap things up here, final thoughts on Inter Miami, 7:30 against Montreal coming up on Saturday. What's that final score look like?
I'm expecting 3 points, nothing less.
3 points.
3 points, nothing less. Montreal, worst team on the table in the Eastern Conference.
I'm expecting, again, a 4-0.
The hardest part of that game is the travel.
Messi.
But, we got to leave with 3.
Does Messi play?
Yes.
I think he plays against Montreal. Sits against New England. I agree with Elias. I think it makes sense because then you get that full rest before the big stretch against Cincinnati and Nashville, which are the big games, I assume.
He'll play against Montreal. He's going to play against New England, but second half.
Come find out on 7:60 a.m. Deportes if you're on the Spanish side, and then 106.3 on the English side. Damien and the boys are going to be live at 6:30 on 7:60 a.m. in Spanish. I'm live at 7 o'clock with the pregame on the English side on 106.3. Mike Rizzo, Damian Perez, Elias Bustamante. This is West Palm FC.